What are we going to do today, Buckets?
Same thing we do every day.
Try to take over the world. And by that I mean the top 10 list is here. It is here with a small caveat. Hello and welcome to the workshop. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you very, very much for stopping by, chopping it up with us, talking a little bit of sneakers. Love these end of year lists. Buckets, you're a big list guy.
Huge list guy.
Huge list guy, and here we are. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that thumbs up button. Even if you don't necessarily agree with the picks on this list, you can also find me if you want to debate this. Well, you can leave a comment below, but you can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. Former Simpson. Last thing I want to mention is uncivilizedstore.com. Buckets, who is behind the camera, my compadre, my cohort.
Both of those work.
Okay. We have a clothing brand. It is called Uncivilized. Uncivilizedstore.com is where we sell it. Got a lot of dope stuff to end the year up on the site. So we will put a link in the description of this video. If you want to grab something, it would be our honor. Buckets, do you have anything to add? Or am I just top rope? I was going to go diving board, but I'm going wrestling ring.
Okay.
Top rope, flying clothesline.
Yeah, you're doing that.
I'm doing that. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bang, bang. Well, I may have jumped the gun a little bit. So normally we do a top 10 sneakers of the year list. That's kind of the customary thing to do, right? It seems like everyone does that top 10 list, and they're fun to do. I like them a lot. Buckets, you like them. We talk about what sneakers released that year. You can kind of take a trip down short-term memory lane a little bit, reminisce. Sneakers move so fast. We've talked about it before. Sometimes even in the span of a year, it really does feel like memory lane when you're going all the way back to the beginning of the year. So these lists are a lot of fun. The thing is, when we were putting together this year's list, man, I don't know. There just weren't 10 sneakers that felt like they were all in that best of the year category. Granted, I know 10 to 1, different kind of tiers, but you almost have to be, Buckets, like that top level to even be in the mix, to even be in the discussion, and it just didn't feel like there were 10 this year, at least not for me. If you've been tuning in for a while, you probably already know this, but we only include sneakers on the best of the year list that we were able to get, that we were able to see in hand and get our hands on, because it's really hard to judge a sneaker just going off an Instagram picture, just something that you saw someone post online. You really got to have them in hand. You got to feel them. You got to, Buckets, you got to breathe them in. You got to become one with the sneaker.
For sure.
Then you can make a decision. It's really hard to judge a sneaker just going off of pictures unless you've held them in your hand, in your clasp, seen them up close. It's just very, very hard to pass a final judgment, give them that final verdict. You know, there were a lot of pairs that were like that for me this year. The Louis Vuitton Air Force One that Virgil did, incredible sneaker, very unobtainable. A pair I didn't think was going to be hard to get is the Nike Air Max 1 Penny in that original Orlando colorway. One of my favorite sneakers of all time, was not able to get a pair. I know a lot of people loved the Orange Lobster that Concepts just released. Very, very dope sneaker. No arguments from me. The Salehi Bembury New Balance was another really good pair. Union LA did some dope stuff, whether it was the Jordan 2 collaboration, whether it was the Nike Dunk that they did. Both very good pairs. The Travis Mocha Low is a pair that I considered and is actually a pair that we did get, but they were kind of just right underneath. They weren't quite in that top tier. Which leads me to now. We have climbed up the mountain, Buckets. We have scaled the side of the mountain. Like I'm just doing wild acrobatic maneuvers right now.
Okay.
I have gotten to the top, the plateau, the peak, but it's kind of plateaued a little bit. That's where the top 5 reside.
Okay.
So we're diving in. Buckets, give me a drum roll.
I will not.
Number 5, the Tom Sachs Nike General Purpose Shoe. Now, Buckets, I know this is your favorite sneaker of the year, so you probably want to throw that out there. Let people know right out of the gate, this is your sneaker of the year.
It is.
Certainly your most worn pair. They look good on your feet. I'm hyping you up.
Thank you.
It really is. It's a super, super dope sneaker. Simple, low key. It kind of feels like everything a sneaker should be. I don't really know what that means, but kind of sort of sounds good. I'm a big Tom Sachs guy, just his whole vibe, his whole aesthetic, and he definitely put that into these sneakers. Now, I will say I prefer the yellow colorway. You prefer the original.
I do.
Both are Mutabella. Number 4, the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Found. This sneaker is awesome. I mean, it's essentially the classic Air Jordan 1 Chicago, but you've got the backstory, the whole receipt from the mom and pop shop. You found an old pair in the back of their dusty inventory room, and it's just like you open the box, the lights shine out. Music starts playing in the background, Buckets. It's exciting times.
Very.
It's dope. It's hard to go wrong with this colorway. It's hard to go wrong with this sneaker. And in sneakers, we see so many releases and re-releases and retros and re-releases. I just thought this was a cool new take on possibly the most classic sneaker out there. And that is why these had to be in the top 5. Number 3, the Joe Fresh Goods New Balance 9060 Inside Voices Penny Cookie Pink. Joe Fresh Goods has been absolutely killing it. That's not news to anyone. Over the last couple years, it's just banger after banger. So many dope projects. But to take a sneaker like this one, or a sneaker model, I should say, that had absolutely zero hype and create a story that resonated with so many people, to tell that story with the quality and the details, just absolutely amazing. I know this is the cliche thing to say, but these really are so much better in hand. Dope in pictures, even doper when you actually get them. They are phenomenal. If you told me this was the best sneaker to release this year, I wouldn't even argue with you. They are that good. And that's kind of how I feel about all the sneakers on this list. They are all that good. And before we move on to the next one, I should probably also mention that Joe Fresh Goods did a 993 collaboration that was also awesome. I preferred the 9060, but the 993 is incredible in its own right. So it just goes to show you how much dopeness Joe Fresh Goods is putting out there. Shouts to him. Number 2, the Amamanier Air Jordan 4. I love this sneaker from the very first picture I saw, the very first glimpse. I was in love, but after seeing them in person again, they just blow you away. They are that good. There's a great message and inspiration behind the sneaker as well. We did a full review recently. Some of you probably saw it. I just could not keep these out of the top 5. The quality is out of this world. The quilted interior, the baby soft leather. You got a couple burgundy hits, burgundy boys, gang, gang, gang. You know how we do. This is the perfect sneaker. Again, you could tell me this was the best sneaker of the year, and I would agree with you. I don't know. This top 5 is kind of like, I don't know, Buckets. Is that a cop-out to say not in any order?
Definitely a cop-out.
They are all top tier. But with that said, it does leave us at numero uno, number 1. Buckets, give me another drum roll.
I will not.
Brrr. Number 1, the Concepts Nike Air Max 1 Heavy. I know some people might not like this pick. I know. I just had to have these at number 1. It is easily my most worn sneaker of the year, and for me, that kind of sort of was the tiebreaker. I know it's not fair because these released earlier than a lot of the other pairs on this list, or really every other pair on this list actually, so I had more time with them. Buckets, I had more time to become one, to bond with the sneaker.
You're building a relationship.
Building a relationship, exactly. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw how many miles I logged in these. I was wearing them every day for a really long time. You heard me rant and rave about how good they were, and they withstood the test of time. Bucket, sometimes a sneaker comes out early in the year, and you're like, man, this might be sneaker of the year. And then by the time October rolls around, you're not even really thinking about it anymore. These withstood the test of time. The materials, the different patterns, again, the storytelling in this sneaker, perfectly executed by Concepts. They are, a work of art. Slow clap. Slow clap. Was that a slow clap or a golf clap?
That's a golf clap.
That's a golf clap. Slow clap is, forgive me, turn the volume down a little bit. All right, Concepts. It's my favorite sneaker of the year. I've worn the absolute crap out of them. Worn the hell out of them, kid. So I says to the guy. I says to the guy, that's the top 5. Those are the 5 best sneakers of 2022. I heard a lot of people saying it was a down year for sneakers. I think it was actually a good year, and I think that these 5 are great. I think that they are a step above the rest, Buckets.
Perfect sneakers.
10 out of 10, perfect sneakers. If you told me any sneaker on this list, if you said, yo, Foambowski, Foamshire Farms, I think this is the best of the bunch. I wouldn't even argue with you. I might wake up tomorrow, I might wake up the next day, next week, and the order be scrambled. But for right now, that's the way I got it. You cannot go wrong with any single one of these. Buckets, do you have anything to add? I know the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe. You're a simple man. You wear a fanny pack. You got a mustache.
Very simple.
You no longer have much of a mullet. The people should know.
No, it's a high fashion mullet.
It's a high fashion mullet.
It's like what I've been telling you. It's high fashion mullet.
I don't think that's high fashion. You don't look high fashion to me, but fair enough.
I'm telling you, it's high fashion.
Okay. You're so high fashion that you've actually come up on the other side.
What would you know about pressure?
Well played. Well played. Leave a comment below. Let us know, how do you feel about this list? Do you agree with it? Did we leave some off? You know, that's the beautiful thing about sneakers. We talk about it all the time. I love reading all the lists. I love hearing from all of you. What's your favorite sneaker? Your top 3, your top 5, your top 10, however many are in that top tier for you. I think the lists are awesome when they are different and unique to you. Variety is the spice of life, like a wise man once said. Not sure who it was, Buckets, but whoever did it was right.
So I says to the guy.
So I says to the guy, variety, it's the spice of life, all right? Yeah. You got anything to add?
I don't, but I'll say that this is your list, not my list.
Wow.
We just have one.
Are you setting it up for the sequel? I mean, you want to do your own list?
Not really.
Throw a couple pairs at me that would be on your list.
I got to look at other lists.
You got to look at other lists to make your list.
For sure.
Fraudulent list. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you very, very much. Seriously, end of the year. This year flew by. Fastest year of my life. Buckets, you too?
I do agree with that.
2022 just absolutely flew by. There's nobody we would rather be on this journey with than you. I'm not saying that because it sounds good. I say that because we are so appreciative. Thank you for rocking with us. Whether you tune in regularly, whether you watch a video here and there, whether this is your first one, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We love you very, very much, and we will be back tomorrow. 2023, the show don't stop, baby. It goes on and on and on and on. I feel like I want to play us out with a song.
You wanted to break into song there?
I kind of wanted to, but I don't know. Maybe not the best way to start the new year.
Well, maybe the worst way.
2023, when we're back, trust me, I'll be singing. Thank you for watching. We love you, and we are out of here.